This post from this woman named Nicole on Blue Sky pretty much sums up the chaos, dysfunction, and stupidity of the current administration. You're fired. Wait, you're rehired. Email us a list of things you've done today. Wait, forget it. You're fired again. Come back. Your job was important. You're fired or hired. Come into the office. Wait, the office has no computers. Go home. We are the Department of Government Efficiency. And many of these places simply don't have offices. Some of them don't have enough parking. These people are literally the opposite of smart. They should not be running a turnkey lemonade stand, yet they are out here supposedly running our government. This comment also sums up the strategy of Doge and MAGA in the Trump administration. You put your employees in, you take your employees out, you put your employees in and you shake them all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, hokey pokey. All right, so that is the basic strategy of the current administration. But seriously, that happened. More than 5,000 fired USDA employees just got their jobs back. More than 5,000 employees who were fired from the USDA are getting their jobs back, at least for now. After a government employee oversight board decided Wednesday they were illegally terminated, the Merit System Protection Board, a panel charged with protecting federal merit system against partisan or political abuse, announced it's broadening its previous decision that restored the jobs of 6 federal employees to all USDA employees who were similarly and haphazardly fired by the Trump administration. All of these federal staffers are probationary employees or people who have generally been in their jobs for a year or less. The decision means thousands of USDA workers who were unlawfully fired can return to their jobs. It also strengthens the case being made by legal groups like Democracy Forward, which brought this request before the board, that none of the mass firings being carried out by Donald Trump and Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency have been legal. The Merit System Protection Board has again confirmed that the Trump-Vance Elon Musk administration's firings of tens of thousands of hardworking federal employees is unlawful. Sky Perryman, president and CEO of Democracy Forward, said in a statement. We are gratified that this unlawful action has been stayed for USDA employees, and we remain committed to ensuring the tens of thousands of other civil servants receive the same reprieve. This is about protecting the people who work for the American people. It's about fairness, stability, and rule of law. That means protecting the nonpartisan civil service from an administration bent on creating chaos and uncertainty. And I'm sure by now we've heard about the people who watched the nuclear plants being fired and then come back, where are they? I don't know. I didn't get their information. We just fired them. And then we've heard about the people who are studying and trying to overcome bird flu being fired. They can't find them. Where are they? I don't know. This administration is such a cluster F of major proportions. But wait, there's more. U.S. Veterans Department to start mass layoffs in June. And so since they are announcing it, these people are going to work. They get to be stressed. They don't know who's watching them. This is causing massive amounts of uncertainty in the economy. Why would people spend their money for spring break? Why would they book any trips for summer vacation? They're probably going to hold on to as much money as possible. This is one of the reasons why the economy going forward is going to be jacked up, and why they say come June, the economy will be jacked up, because people are just going to hold on to as much money as possible. So here are the bullet points. Veterans Department to start mass layoffs as early as June. Sweeping spending restrictions being felt across the government. Politicians on both sides of the aisle concerned about VA cuts. This is deeply unpopular. I have no idea why they are hell-bent on causing so much stress and financial insecurity all across America, but that's where we are. The memo, which is dated March 6, directs the department's human resource team to begin reviewing the agency's operation with an eye towards firing civil servants. It said it expects the review to be done by June, after which VA will initiate department-wide RIF actions using an acronym for Reduction in Force. The VA responded to a request for comment by sending a link to VA Secretary Doug Collins' recent opinion piece in The Hill, which he defended the cuts as thorough and thoughtful. Veterans groups, Democrats, and some Republicans have already voiced concern over the planned reductions at the department, which is seeking to cut more than 80,000 workers from the agency. The cost cutting campaign by Trump and Elon Musk has already pushed more than 100,000 people out of the 2.3 million member federal civilian workforce. They have already reduced it by, it says 100,000 people, but I have heard numbers as high as 200,000. All right. Agencies including the VA, which provides services including healthcare to roughly 15.8 million U.S. veterans, have begun to plan reductions in force as part of the planned second wave of cuts. So while we have all of that going on, we're firing people left and right. We're cutting funds for poor people, for the disabled, for elderly, for school. They want to get rid of the Department of Education. I wonder, is all of that making the cost of eggs go down? Why, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think that Trump is finally getting a little bit peeved that people are trying to hold him to account for the fact that he said that the cost of groceries were going to come down on day one. He actually did say this. And I'm going to pull the tweet where he does say that. But it's so this is from BuzzFeed. Obviously, this is snarky, but it says Trump's latest repost on Truth Social called "Shut Up About Egg Prices" is going viral, and it needs to be hung at grocery stores nationwide. Well, it's been approximately 6 weeks since Trump took office, and he's most recently gone to Truth Social to seemingly tell Americans to stop complaining about the price of eggs. Trump reposted an article on his Truth Social account called "Shut Up About Egg Prices. Trump is Saving Consumers Millions." Now, Charlie Kirk wrote this article back in February 17th, for the Daily Caller. But Trump did post this on his Truth Social account today, so he must be getting an earful. People keep talking about the price of eggs. The article, written by conservative activist Charlie Kirk, puts the blame for high egg prices on the Biden administration and the bird flu outbreak, promising that Trump's team is actively working to fix the problem, but raising more chickens to lay more eggs takes time. Reversing 4 years of economic malpractice will take time to reverse, but the building blocks of America's next great low inflation, high wage growth boom have already been laid. And soon enough, so too will the eggs. Yeah, right. He said day one. He's signed hundreds of executive orders, and none of these executive orders are aimed at lowering the cost of goods, at lowering the cost of housing, none of that. All of the things that he has done so far has thrown the economy into a tailspin and a plummet off the cliff. But here we go. It says, of course, back on the campaign. Now, this is what he was talking about when he was campaigning. It says, when I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. He said that. And after he became the president-elect, he said, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down. But as we know, that promise has not come to fruition. And here we have a picture. This is showing 1999. This looks like 18 eggs. 16.99, that looks like a dozen, and 17.69 for another dozen. That is a hot mess. I do want to highlight right here on October 26, 2024, Donald Trump said, eggs and gas prices out of control. Crooked Joe and the radical left destroyed affordability for hardworking Americans. It's a total scam. On day one, I'll slash prices so fast it'll make their heads spin. Big oil, big farms, they'll listen to me, not the lobbyists. No more ripoffs. MAGA. He said this on his Truth Social on October 26th. I keep this picture saved just so we can continue to bring it out. And because of all this chaos and dysfunction, the GOP leadership are telling other Republicans to stop holding these town halls. They're making us look bad, dude. They're making us look bad, bro. Representative Richard Hudson, the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, encouraged House Republicans to do more virtual events over in-person town halls, according to multiple sources familiar with the meeting. The plea comes after multiple House Republicans have faced fiery constituents at recent in-person town halls concerning cuts to the federal workforce and the impact of Elon Musk's Doge has had on communities. Hudson told members that communicating with constituents via Facebook Live, teletown halls, and other virtual avenues would be more effective, allowing them to screen questions and have better control over the events, i.e., not get hollered at by these people that are mad about mass firings. Chairman Hudson supports members reaching out and helping as many of our constituents as possible. Using technology makes this a heck of a lot easier. Chairman Hudson opposes attention-seeking, move-on, and indivisible activists hijacking these events, Will Kiley, NRCC's spokesman, told ABC News. House Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson, Republican out of Louisiana, claimed the teletown halls are more productive than if you go to an open forum right now, accusing Democratic activists without evidence of showing up to in-person town halls to portray Republicans in a negative light. Look, these are all their people who do this as a profession, Johnson said at the GOP press conference. They're professional protesters, so why would we give them a forum to do that right now? The best thing that our members can do is communicate directly, frequently, consistently with their constituents, and there are other avenues to do it than just going in to try to give the other side sound bites. This comes after Trump made accusations without evidence that paid troublemakers were interrupting GOP town halls, not constituents. Outside Tuesday's GOP conference meeting, Representative Lauren Boebert claimed she experienced safety concerns in her district, saying that virtual events were safer and more effective. I've done many teletown halls, and I think those are very productive, and we can reach thousands more people than we ever could in person, she said. And so I think that is a great strategy, but for me personally, it's just not safe to do an in-person town hall because I don't know what to expect. Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, said on Tuesday that he'd soon go out to red districts in his state to speak out against DOJ layoffs. Starting March 24th, I will be going to 3 red districts in California to speak out against DOJ's mass firings and the Republicans' Medicaid cuts, Khanna wrote in an op-ed in The Prospect published on Tuesday. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, the 2024 Democratic vice presidential nominee, posted on X Tuesday morning that he'd host events in districts where Republican representatives won't meet constituents. If your Republican representatives won't meet with you because their agenda is so unpopular, maybe a Democrat will, he said. Hell, maybe I will. If your congressman refuses to meet, I'll come host an event in their district to help local Democrats beat them. And I think that that's what's going to have to happen. Democrats are going to have to play this kind of strategy and just meet them in these red districts. Like Ben Meiselas of the Midas Touch says, ABC, always be campaigning. Many of these cuts, many of these firings are deeply unpopular. So play that against the Republicans. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about all of this. This was definitely a lot of news. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment.
Elon Musk has contracts with the federal government. But he is also, I think, doing an effective job.
Conflict of interest! Show me!
Republican Congressman Mark Alford faced constituents frustrated over President Donald Trump's efforts to slash government spending at a tense town hall in Belton, Missouri.
Government employees are going to be let go, and that's just the reality of it. And I feel bad that people have been laid off. I truly do.
Federal layoffs spearheaded by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has sparked outrage around the country. Alford said even his wife was among the growing number of workers that were laid off from the Federal Reserve.
Government is not immune to layoffs.
Around 150 people showed up to the town hall, tripling the venue's 50-person limit and spilling into the street, according to CNN affiliate KMBC.
It's a little frustrating not to be able to hear what he's got to say and his ideas, and be able to say, hey, this is something that you may need to look at one way or another.
Republican members of Congress are feeling the heat from their constituents over President Trump and Elon Musk's cuts to the federal workforce.
So if we're going to have a town hall, and I'd like to stand in front of you and take take your question, but if you won't just yell at me, that's not going to be effective talent.
While the House was on recess, many of these members of Congress had their first opportunity to hold town halls since the start of the Trump administration. And many of them, even those in some Republican-heavy districts, got an earful from their constituents.
We'd be represented by you if you don't have a voice in Congress.
Are you willing to use your subpoena power to say, Musk, come in here, stand in front of Congress and answer some hard questions?
The executive branch is running Doge, but under our Constitution, only Congress has the power of the purse. Some of their actions have hurt your constituents. When are you going to wrest control as the Congress back from the executive and stop hurting your constituents?
These contentious town halls could be an early sign of what's to come for many of these lawmakers as Americans start to feel the real impact of these Doge cuts. Many of these lawmakers are up for re-election in 2026, so they'll have to walk that tightrope of appeasing the president and their voters.